Hello everyone and now welcome to a game between LabyRinth versus Sock. This game taking place here on Shallow Grave. Here on the top left hand side of the map we have Sock spawning as the teal human player, opening up with an Altar of Kings farm and a barracks. No big surprises there. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map, LabyRinth opening things up with an Altar of Darkness, Crypt, and a Ziggurat. Pretty much a straightforward builds coming in from both of these players. Human versus undead. Human versus undead. Sock versus LabyRinth. Undead generally having a little bit of a favorable matchup here with that Death Knight and that Lich. Being able to really pick off low hit point or even semi-low hit point units as they are easily blasted away by that level 3 Death Coil and level 2 Frost Nova. We'll see what exactly the human player Sock is going to be responding with in this matchup. Perhaps trying to go for a different type of secondary hero or perhaps some more spell breakers. We'll just have to wait and see. Coming back down to the south here, it is going to be a Dreadlord first though. Instead of a Death Knight with Death Coil, Dreadlord often used to try and surround enemies early on with that sleep ability, and then also being able to do a little bit of harassment with that carry-on swarm. I say that, although I say that, Dreadlord first is rather uncommon. Nice to see you commenting as well. Thank you for tuning in. Dreadlord, not that common of a hero straight out of the opening gate. We'll see what is going to be unfolding here in just a moment. All right, one thing we're taking a look at here, peasants going to go ahead and, continue to be trained. We're looking at 13 peasants being trained up so far by Sock, and that number, if it continues to train up more and more, may indicate that we are going to be going into some sort of fast expansion. All right, taking down a frog. I don't know what that frog ever did, but we're going to go ahead and try and clear out this orange creep camp off to the north. Forest Troll Warlord, Forest Troll High Priest. Need to get some major damage onto that unit quickly, as it does have medium armor, can get taken down rather fast. Meanwhile, down to the south, we are going for a Dreadlord who does have a Rod of Necromancy. Did get a sleep off on that Forest Troll High Priest to prevent that inner fire and any of those heals. All right, Forest Troll High Priest finally back out onto the battlefield and finally waking up from and doing his job, but it looks like enough damage has already been done. Going after this last Forest Troll High Priest, and then finally this Forest Troll Trapper. Should be a quick, easy job there, as the Dreadlord does get to level 2, picks up a Scroll of the Beast, but not nearly as useful as the Archmage's Potion of Greater Mana. That Scroll of the Beast is useful, but really not right now. The timing, not that useful, as it is not going to be able to really be able to push with a decent size enough army for its reasoning, especially when compared to having 2 additional water elementals out because of that Potion of Greater Mana. Coming back, hello, Japan stream. I don't know what that actually means. Anyways, coming back through, Water Elemental, gonna go ahead and try and engage here. No, there's a sleep onto the Archmage. Archmage gets an Abolish Magic to wake up from that nightmare, but only to see that happen again, and now it's continuing to try and make another move. Archmage could end up taking a little bit more damage. Archmage does have Water Elementals and can drop another one here in just a moment. No sleep onto a Footman. That could have been an easy pick-off instead, as the Dreadlord, down to 2 charges on that Rod of Necromancy, wants to get more skeletal minions as well. Now, without the ability to heal up those heal with those death coils, damage is going to be sticking a little bit more, as we see a quick sleep go down onto that Forest Troll High Priest. All right, Yuna's trying to back away now. Low hit point Forest Troll High Priest needs to back away as well, down to 123 hit points. He needs to back away. Meanwhile, the armies have exchanged in a little bit as well. What is going on in this battle? Perhaps going to try and grab another Forest Troll High Priest here, or grab some additional units. There is a bit of a heal. As you can see, LabyRinth now continuing to make its way back around. There goes another Abolish Magic, as dual Forest Troll Shadow Priest able to keep each other alive and well, needing that extra bit of mana that this Forest Troll Shadow Priest was low on. Coming back around, Archmage still sitting at level 2, but very close to level 3. And once level 3 is reached on that Archmage, that Potion of Greater Mana, essentially becomes that much better, as level 2 water elementals will be dropped. We are looking now at Dreadlord trying to clear out a creep camp, but we're going to see a bit of, well, creep jacking as well as the Forest Troll Shadow Priest trying to take down that water elemental. A lot of damage already being hit out. There goes one Forest Troll Shadow Priest Archmage now getting up to level 3. Could drop another one here in just a moment as the Dreadlord gets to level 3 as well. All right, level 2 Carrion Swarm able to rip through a bunch of units there, racking up quite a bit of damage as that Ogre Warrior about to get taken down. Last Forest Troll will get taken down here, but all of those early footmen coming in from Sock are going to have a very bad day because of that level 2 Carrion Swarm. However, another Forest Troll Shadow Priest taken down there as the footmen and the units are still trying to retreat back. Back at home, we are done the tech to tier 2. We are getting up a Mountain King, and Riflemen are now starting to be trained. Meanwhile, no signs of a second hero as of yet, as we are still at tier 1 LabyRinth, perhaps a little bit late in getting that tech to tier 2 started. Mountain King about halfway done here, and we are now still training up more and more Riflemen to join in on the battle. They do not have that range upgrade as of yet. Ghouls are going to have a bit of a problem. LabyRinth not having any Nerubian towers here, so that Necropolis will just now get completed. Now having one additional cold tower there. Are we going to be looking at another hero as that Ghoul gets taken down? Archmage at 3.5. A little bit of damage here as we're going to be looking at a Forest Troll Berserker easily getting taken down. One more final shot to there. Forest Troll Berserker trying to retreat back. Are we going to be getting up a Slaughterhouse or any additional units? No, we are not yet, as we are getting up a Death Knight as that second hero, teching to tier 3 now. Dreadlord, Carrion Swarm, Sacrificial Skull. We could be looking at some easy damage here. A lot of units trying to, well, engage against each other. Forest Troll Shadow Priest able to back away as we see an Abolish Magic trying to take down some of those water elementals. Level 4 now on that Dreadlord. Level 2 Sleep. Mountain King going to come out, get a Stormbolt most likely off on that Dreadlord. No, after the Forest Troll Shadow Priest. As the Forest Troll Shadow Priest, that stun does last a little bit longer, but a beautiful deny by LabyRinth. There's that Slaughterhouse that we were expecting, and we are getting up a Nerubian tower here, and that Death Knight will be joining in on the fight now. Mountain King looking to perhaps get some additional experience while we are looking at LabyRinth coming around the corner. Death Knight wants to push here. Remember, there is line of sight issues. Both sides are trying to get proper sight of each other as we see the Brigands and Rogues now getting taken down, but beautiful Death Coil Steel to get the last shot there. As that Slaughterhouse finishes up and we start transitioning from ghouls into crypt fiends and now training up some of those obsidian statues, the undead army is going to be that much stronger. The big question though is going to be whether or not that Carrion Swarm is going to line up against, well, perhaps that back line of units. Mountain King trying to retreat back once again down to 334 hit points. A couple of priests need to try and heal up that Mountain King once more. We're looking at, what, 35 supply compared to 44. Both sides getting into position, but Sock definitely has that supply advantage. But he could get creepjacked here if he is not careful. Alright, more battling in the center. Mountain King trying to perhaps go after that Rock Golem. Unable to finish it off, well, with a Stormbolt, but able to finish it off with a nice gentle tap, picking up a Mana Stone on that Mountain King. Mountain King now with plenty of mana with that Mana Stone and Brilliance Aura should be able to get off plenty of Stormbolts and may even try to go for, opts to go for Bash instead of Thunderclap, as the Mountain King at level 2 already has 270 mana after picking up that Tome of Intelligence. Alright, every point of mana makes a big difference now on that Mountain King. We are looking at, Mountain King perhaps going to try to get a Stormbolt off. No, continuing to creep away. So Sock is playing a rather dangerous game, getting the Stormbolt off onto the Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend now down to 198 hit points, gets a Death Coil for the heal, and still trying to back away. Meanwhile, the Dreadlord is going after all of those backline units here, and the lines are just completely melted apart. Archmage is now up to level 4. Level 2 Brilliance Aura definitely going to be there as well, as the Dreadlord could try and get in some more Carrion Swarms, ripping through a bit more damage. Now, however, the Obsidian Statues need to heal up that Death Knight. Death Knight getting bashed a number of times, could have a bit of problems. Is he going to be able to be saved? No, he is not. Death Knight falls at level 1, and the Mountain King, well, still playing quite a impressive game there. Carrion Swarm unable to catch that last hit on that Sasquatch. All right, that was a desperation move by the Dreadlord. Lich is that third and final hero. Obsidian statues are out, and the Death Knight does resurrect rather quickly as the Dreadlord is going to try and lead the charge once more. All right, Water Elemental easily going to get taken down right here. A little bit of more bonus experience as well for that Lich. Back off to the north, Mountain King still just shy of level 3, and the Mountain King is turning into a bigger and a badder frontline brawler, now with a pendant of energy adding on top of the mana stone and that potion of greater mana. All right, dropping that pendant of energy, using the potion of greater mana and picking it back up. Well, that is just going to translate into even more storm bolts consistently, as we're now looking at a potential creep jack here. Mountain King does get up to level 3 now, 430 mana. Mountain King with a potion of greater mana and a mana stone, both incredibly powerful if you just want to continue to launch in those storm bolts. All right, Mountain King now picking up a belt of giant strength as well. And finally, we are looking at LabyRinth having an opportunity to clear out some creep camps. He has a lot of work and ground to make up here, as his Death Knight is still only sitting at level 1. Lich is in the back here. This could be a problem. Stormbolt could be inbound. We are looking at a sacrificial skull being used to get him a little bit of additional blight, as the Death Knight gets up to level 2, having Unholy Aura. Carrion Swarm ripping through right there. Frost Nova going down onto some of those units. Lich gets a Death Coil to stay alive, as the Riflemen are trying to fight their way through. Meanwhile, Lich does have that Orb of Corruption causing a lot of problems. 42 supply compared to 45, and now a beautiful Carrion Swarm ripping through here, as the Lich now also up to level 2 as well. So 4-2-2 going up against a 4-3, as we're looking at more damage still racking up again and again. Riflemen are trying to back away. There goes a Frost Nova onto a couple of Priests as well, as they are slowly getting taken down. There goes a One of the Wind trying to neutralize the Mountain King, but he is back in action once more. Dreadlord continuing to fight. Death Knight needs to get a Death Coil off, gets the Death Coil off on the Lich, as the Death Knight is still fighting its way through. Big Carrion Swarm hitting down many of those peasants, but now not that many low hit point, or well, no easy way to finish off a lot of these low hit point units. There goes Carrion Swarm, as we are seeing Holy Light now coming in from the Paladin, trying to save those units a bit more. Frost Armor onto the Lich. Lich could be in a little bit of trouble, could be in a lot of trouble, could get taken down right there, as he's blasted with that holy power. All right. Dreadlord wanting to finish off this escaping Rifleman. Rifleman down to 138 hit points. Looks like he'll have to break off the chase. Death Coil, well, Unholy Aura onto that Death Knight, not fast enough to catch up to that low, or to that unit there. Meanwhile, Tome of Intelligence being left behind off to the side. And Lich, well, I believe was resurrected at the tavern, hence the no mana and half hit points. Coming back off to the north here, we are looking perhaps at an no expansion attempt coming across here. Death Knight and Lich still want to try and level up. Level 3 on that Death Knight would spell a lot more survivability on that Lich, increasing that Death Coil heal from 200 to 400 hit points. Archmage getting ready to, well, get closer to level 5, level 2 Brilliance, or a level 3 Water Elementals, most likely. It's Crota. Good day. Well, good day, everyone. Thank you for tuning in, as we're still looking at more creeping coming in from LabyRinth off on the other side of the map. All right, we've only been in this game for 13 minutes, and it feels like this game has been a little bit more drawn out than many human versus undead matchups. It feels like more time has elapsed, and that's why part of my surprise on the rather lower level heroes. But now we're going to be getting into an engagement here. Knights already have that animal war training Holy Light trying to save right there. Water Elemental is going to get taken down. Destroyers trying to finish off some of those other units, as the Death Knight could be in a little bit of trouble there. All right, more damage coming back across. There goes one Knight there, as the Death Knight wants to try and, well, keep those Destroyers alive, and, well, Abomination getting them a bit more healed, as the Destroyers need to finish off many of those flying machines, as we're still battling up in the center. 4-3-2 continuing to fight their way back and forth. Abomination absorbing quite a bit of damage. There is a double level up. Level 4 on the Mountain King, level 2 on the Paladin, level 5 now on that Dreadlord, as that Dreadlord still looking to do quite a bit of damage with that Carrion Swarm, really able to rip through many of those units, and making it difficult for the Priest to try and constantly keep all of those units alive and well. Mana becomes a bit of a problem. Destroyer gonna end up finishing off another water element, or another just flying machine there, and now going after some of those water elementals here, getting in a little bit of splash damage across other units as the destroyer wants to devour magic, and yes, does get a little bit of mana once again. All right, both sides just suffering big damage. LabyRinth now down to 35 supply compared to 36 as that big carrion swarm ripping through many of those units once again. Scroll of Town Portal, Lich now being able to back away in time as all of the units, well, go for a bit of reprieve. Expansion and now being built by Sock. Good morning, Burrow Rush. Expansion now being built by Sock. We're looking at the Dreadlord, Death Knight, and Lich 5-3-3 going up against a 5-4-2. Well, big battles. Well, going around everywhere. We're looking at the armies perhaps trying to be rebuilt, and LabyRinth only has about 5.5 minutes of mining left. We're going to be trying to go after a relatively difficult creep camp. 2 obsidian statues in the back here. Dreadlord is still in that front line position. He should not be in this battle at all. He wants to give all of that experience to the Death Knight and that Lich if possible, and that's exactly what he's, well, currently trying to do. All right, meanwhile, the destroyers wants to go after some of those flying machines there. Well, it should be able to devour magic, regenerate a bunch of hit points, and get a little bit of mana as well. All right, Lich is sitting at level 3. Death Knight going to be sitting at level 3. Tome of Agility now on that Lich. Perhaps a little bit faster attack speed as the units are looking to retreat back. All right, Forest Troll High Priest, last Forest Troll Berserker. Is that going to get finished off? Well, Lich is going to be able to easily take that down. Taking it down there. All right, Death Knight nearing level 4 as we are looking at perhaps an expansion check. And yes, the little skeletal warriors will in fact see that this expansion is already underway. A couple fly machines taking a little bit of damage. They're going to try and retreat back. The destroyers not having as much. Well, what is the range on the flying machine? All right, flying machines having a slightly higher range, able to get in that damage before the destroyers are able to finish them off. Also, the fact that it runs a missile projection versus an instantaneous hit as the obsidian statues, well, coming in from behind. So we have 3 heroes, 3 obsidian statues, and 1 destroyer. Lich picking up that remaining Tome of Intelligence right there as we're still looking at the Mountain King perhaps trying to get to level 5. All right, 5-3-3 going up against a 5-4-3 now. Incredibly close in terms of leveling up as the Death Knight going to get to level 4, now having access to level 2 Unholy Aura for that faster movement speed, being able to get out and across the map. Lich having Claws of Attack plus 12, now up to plus 17 damage. 47 to 53 damage per auto attack right there. All right. Coming back through, flying machines are still flying around. We're looking at the obsidian statues making their way down to the south here. We're looking at, well, Abomination's Death Knight making their way down to the south. What is going to be unfolding as LabyRinth is starting to run out of gold, only having 3 minutes of mining left. Meanwhile, Sock is holding on to his expansion and should be able to make a bit of a play. All right. What we're going to be looking at most likely, we're up to 49 over 60 supply. We could see unsummoning of a couple of key buildings and then trying to do a bit of a push. But even that is going to be an uphill battle as Sock already has a 64 supply army ready to go. LabyRinth finally breaking into low upkeep and now transforming a couple of destroyers and absorbing a bit of mana. And now we are going to be going into a fight. Mountain King sitting at level 4, 490 mana. 1,350 hit points at level 4. That Helm of Valor giving, and what, 14 armor. Gonna go ahead and try and engage. There's that, well, Carrion Swarm Frost Nova racking up a bit of that damage. Death Knight now trying to retreat back. Does have a potion of lesser invulnerability. Abominations are fighting right there. We are seeing Staff of Sanctuary pulling back units as the Death Knight is going to be able to death coil that Abomination. No, it is not. Carrion Swarm trying to rip through more units there as fly machines are getting destroyed. All right, the destroyers look to be unchallenged in the sky right now as the flying machines are now looking to back away. Another another Stormbolt onto the Abomination, as the Abomination needs to absorb quite a bit of damage, but really not finishing off the units as needed. The Destroyers need to find a way, as another Abomination, well, it gets another Death Coil temporarily to try and stay alive. There goes one Knight. Another Knight could get taken down. How much damage is needed? Level 5, level 4, Death Knight could be in trouble here. Death Knight needs a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability, uses it in time. Split second, major difference there, as the units are now trying to retreat back. Both sides continuing to fight. There is a sleep onto the Mountain King, as the Flying Machines are leading the charge, going up against those Destroyers, but not realizing that, wait, they're going to have a little bit of problem too. All right, Dreadlord now trying to retreat back, has a Potion of Lesser Invulnerability. Death Knight trying to retreat back. Obsidian Statue, are we going to be able to regroup together and teleport out in time? Yes, they are. All right, trying to heal back up. Obsidian Statues need to be repaired. Once more, only 2 Obsidian Statues left. Staying on Blight could be helpful. We're looking at additional Abominations trying to be retrained up once more. There is no Disease Cloud on the Destroyers. That's an interesting point to note, as the Priest will then be constantly trying to heal up more and more units back at home to make up a bit of that difference. All right, triple Destroyers, 2 Obsidian Statues. One of the Obsidian Statues relatively low on hit points as well. Would you say came out stronger? Who would you say came out stronger in that fight? Well, LabyRinth had a smaller army going into that battle there. If we're looking at hero levels, it's really going to come down to whether or not that Mountain King can get up to level 5. If that Mountain King is able to get to level 5, that means that he got the initial jump better onto that battle, and he should be able to continue to snowball. The Lich did get to level 4 and now has access to Dark Ritual, so should be able to get in a good amount of deny if necessary to deny that bit of experience for that Mountain King, and then also translate it into Frost Novas along that back line. It really is going to come down to that back line, whether or not the Rifleman and the Priest stay alive, even though they are going to be exposed to damage from that Carrion Swarm and that Frost Nova. Acolytes now making their way back over here, perhaps going to try and haunt that gold mine. We are looking at LabyRinth now making a play off over here to the far side. We are also looking at those Flying Machines trying to get in position here, and Sock just knows that I have a bit of an advantage right now since I am mining and you are not. So until you get that, until you get your haunted gold mine up and operational, I just need to try and defend this location here. Lich could be in a lot of trouble, down to 300 hit points already. There's the Death Coil for the heal. Knights are trying to move into position. Abominations, there goes another Carrion Swarm, ripping through many of those units as the Abominations are now in that frontline position. Meanwhile, Destroyers are trying to finish off some of those Flying Machines, able to take down some, as the Abominations still absorbing quite a bit more damage than they should be, and now needs to see a couple of Death Coils across low hit point units. All right, are we going to see that? There's a Frost Nova onto a Knight, Stormbolt onto an Abomination, trying to, well, fight in position once more. Lich can continue to get some Frost Novas. There's a Holy Light in that frontline spot. 67 supply compared to 52, as the Abominations are in the very, very far back. Mountain King gets up to level 5 now. And I really felt that Mountain King really could have really much more benefited from Thunderclap, especially with the amount of mana he constantly seems to have, being able to slow down amongst the swarm. There goes another Carrion Swarm trying to finish off some Flying Machines, and does exactly that. 39 supply compared to 58. Stormbolt now going onto that Lich. Lich could be in a lot of trouble. Potion of Lesser Invulnerability not needed, as the Death Coil comes in for the save. But now about the Dreadlord. The Dreadlord is on the wrong side. There goes another Carrion Swarm. Are we going to see a Death Coil? Potion of Lesser Invulnerability? No. And the Carrion Swarming Dreadlord unable to carry the game. A Holy Light for that last blast, able to finish it off as Sock comes away with the victory. A nice back and forth game, but ultimately the economic advantage proved to be too much. Sock able to build up a slightly larger army, get up to level 5 on that Mountain King, and then start using that Stormbolt. And I do question whether or not Thunderclap would have been better in that battle, especially with the items that you started to see that Mountain King getting, the pendant of energy, the greater potion of mana, that mana stone, and also already having level 2 brilliance aura and so nearby on that archmage, that Mountain King always felt like he had more than enough mana, and perhaps using that mana efficiently in the battle could have given him a better advantage. Overall, though, I can't fault Sock's play, as he did come away with the victory. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.